Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Brown's Latest. It's game day, fellas. I'm Dave Grendzynski. You can call me Grizzer, and this is where we get you caught up on some of the latest news and tidbits that are tied to our favorite team in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns. Thank you to everybody who has liked our previous episodes, everyone who has subscribed to the channel. We're this much closer to 11,000 subscribers. When we get there, I will change the fit for just one show. Also, all of you who have become members of the Browns' latest dog pound, woof, woof. Thank you so much. And all of you who get your comments down there in the viewer comment section, I can't thank you enough. Now, coming up on today's show, one of the keys to beating the Raiders has to do with the red zone. While you're watching today's game, keep your eyes on the Raiders sideline. You might think I'm nuts after you hear this week's bold predictions. And in the viewer comments, Shedeur could help set a record even before he throws his first pass. Find out what that's all about. Whoa. But let's get to some keys. Let's dig into our pocket and pull out the keys to beating the Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders. We got to get the running game going. This will take the pressure off of Shedeur for sure. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did. Vegas, yes. They do allow the second fewest yards per carry in the NFL. They're giving up about 4 yards per carry. It is the second fewest. But their last 3 games, they've given up almost 120 yards a game. A little over 116 yards a game their last 3 games. I always like to look at the last. It's like, what have you done for me lately? I like to look at the last 3 games. So I look at that stuff when I'm betting on a game and obviously when I'm analyzing a game. Those are the kind of things I'm looking for. So that's where I'm leaning. I'm leaning on what have you done for me lately, Vegas? And that is you're giving up almost 120 yards rushing the last 3. So the last 3 is a big thing for me. I also think it'll be key to get Shedeur some quick early passes, get him going. You know, a lot of times in these situations, you'll see an offensive coordinator, they'll throw right out of the gate. Throw a quick screen or something to a wide receiver screen, a bubble screen or something, just to get that first pass, you know, something simple, something quick, something easy, and just to get them the feel of making that first throw with no pressure. A 1st and 10, first play of the game, let's get them going and get them going early. Now, the other thing is this. We got to score in the red zone. Listen to this number. We have scored a touchdown. This is just touchdowns on 52% of the drives that we have had make it to the red zone. Last week, we didn't get any touchdowns in the red zone, including we were set up with a 1st and goal from the 6 and got no yards and kicked the field goal. Listen to this. This is why this has to happen this week. The Raiders have allowed a touchdown on almost 60% of the opposing team's red zone trips. So if you get into the red zone on the Raiders, you're scoring 6 out of 10 times. The odds are with us. So Cowboys got 3 on them the other night. So this is something that has to happen. I mean, we get in the red zone, we've got to score some touchdowns. The other thing is this. The defensive line, this is critical. Must control the line of scrimmage. Look at this. This is the last 4 games what the Browns defense has done. 18 sacks, 42 tackles for loss. Myles Garrett alone, 11 sacks and 14 tackles for loss, which is great. The other thing that if we're getting to the quarterback and we're stuffing Ashton Jeanty for tackles for loss. Now, Gentry's he's averaging 15 carries a game, 55 yards. He hasn't been that great. Ask my one fantasy team. So 55 yards a game, we should be able to control him for sure. Now, the other factor in this, the other key, are turnovers. And look at this. You know, Geno Smith tied for the league. Look at Tua. Look at who's right after. This is, you got total turnovers. Quarterbacks. Sam Darnold and Tua are tied for the total lead. But then Tua and Geno Smith are tied for most interceptions. Joe Flacco, our old friend. Some things never change. He's sitting there with 12 total turnovers, 9 interceptions and 3 fumbles. Cam Ward sitting there. At least he has balance, right? He's got 6 interceptions and 6 fumbles lost. So he keeps things even. I kind of like that. But the turnovers are definitely a thing that we need to take advantage of against Geno Smith. So the defensive line is going to be critical for wreaking some havoc. Here's the thing: we're 10th in the league for the diff. Like, you ever go to a Cavs game? The diff. Our diff on turnovers, we're +3. +3 on the turnover differential. The Raiders are 23rd, -4 on the turnover differential. So the diff is with us as well. So those are the keys to me. We'll put them back in our pocket, and then we will watch to see what happens. What else you should be watching for? I'm watching for passes over 20 yards by Shedeur. I saw more passes over 20 yards in one half against Baltimore by Shedeur than I did the entire time Dillon Gabriel was playing quarterback. I should do that comparison. I'm pretty sure if it's not close, Shedeur definitely had more 20-yard passes. Watch for the tight ends to be involved a lot. Rookie quarterbacks and tight ends become best friends because they're close to the line, short passes. I think that's why they rested Njoku so much this week. They really want to make sure he's ready. They want to have both those tight ends ready to go. Look at the 2 passes he threw. His 2 of his best passes, maybe the 2 best passes. Well, the one he threw to Larvadan was money. But the 2 passes he threw to the one to Njoku and the one to Fannin were, look for that a lot. I think they'll be involved a lot today. Watch for a few deep shots to Bond or Judy. We need some deep shots. I don't know, have we even taken a deep shot at all this year? I can't remember one. Coach me up in the comments. I'm getting old. Sometimes I forget things. But and I'm talking about motion, jet sweep motion, pump fake go. Let's chuck it. Let's try to hit something deep. I'm watching for that. I also want to see if the Raiders, if they sell out on the run like everybody else has been doing, because everybody knew Dillon Gabriel is not a threat throwing the ball. So let's see if the Raiders are stacking the box like everybody else has been doing. Now with Shedeur in there, I'm saying you better not do that, Vegas. I'm telling you right now, don't do that. This is not Dillon Gabriel back there. I'll also be interested to see if the Raiders try to blitz Shedeur like the Ravens were trying, were blitzing Shedeur. Now, I do think the Browns will be a little more prepared for it this week, but I'm interested to see if the Raiders try to do something similar after watching the Ravens tape. And here it is. This is what I teased at the top. Make sure you keep your eyes on the Raiders bench, because if Geno Smith is struggling, you know who their backup is, right? It's Kenny Small Hands Pickett. How great would that be for Pickett to come in? Oh my gosh. And then if he starts throwing picks and we're running them back and all kinds, that would be great. It would just, again, show Kevin, dude, this was not the guy, never going to be the guy. So let somebody else pick your quarterbacks, Kevin. How about we just get somebody else to come in and be the somebody else to pick the quarterbacks? I'm good with that, too. But keep your eyes on the sideline, man. If things start to come unglued for Geno, because he's on the hot seat and he is on thin ice, and so is Pete Carroll. They're already talking about replacing Carroll after 1 year. They're already talking. They're done with Geno Smith already after that game Monday night. So I'm watching that. I'm watching and waiting for Kenny Pickett to come into this game. All right, is that our first bold prediction? Could be. Could be. It might be on the list. But here's what I'm going to say. Shedeur is going to provide the spark this offense has been looking for just by his presence and the juice and the crowd. There's a big Browns backers event thing out in Vegas. Vegas is a well-traveled place. It's not for the Raiders. It's for everybody. It's the visiting teams. Everybody goes out to Vegas, loses all their money, goes to the game on Sunday, and comes home crying on Monday. People do it all the time. And so I just think that there's going to be so much juice. These guys are going to be amped up. The offense should be ready to go. Everybody's going to have a little bounce in their step, a little extra bounce in their step for this game this afternoon. The Browns are scoring 30 points. That is a bold prediction. They are going to hang at least 30 on Vegas. The defense will force at least 2 more turnovers, for sure. There's no doubt in my mind the way Geno Smith has been playing, and which leads me to, yes, I absolutely think Kenny Pickett will be coming into this game at some point. Smith is lucky to even be getting this start, and I think the Browns defense will force good old Mr. Pickett off the bench and into this game. I truly believe that that's going to happen. You remember I think it was a Miss America pageant or something when they asked the one contestant about maps or something? And she's like, I truly believe every kid needs a map. I truly believe Kenny Pickett is coming into this game. And my last bold prediction. I know I said last week might have been my boldest prediction, but that one came true. This might be right up there because I am predicting a curb stomp. The Browns are winning going away. They are going to win this game 30-10 against the Raiders today, or something similar. This is going to be complete domination for the first time in I don't know how long by our Cleveland Brownies. I'm telling you, that's the way it's going down. So there you go. Now, what's always on top and never going down are the viewer comments. And we'll start today with Sean McCarthy I4G, who says, let's go ballin' with Shedeur. I agree. I am all in. Let's go. The search for the franchise quarterback is over in Cleveland. It is over. Beginning today. Walter Dawkins, 8475, says, Shedeur needs to attend Ball Holders Anonymous meetings, LOL. I thought he has been working on that all this time. Even his dad was talking about using checkdowns. He told Shedeur that all other NFL quarterbacks rely on them, and he should too. Looking forward to seeing how disciplined he is today. I think he will be too, and then the work with the ones, all of it will contribute to what will be a performance that I think is going to send shockwaves across the NFL today. I think that he will be ready. The moment is never too big for him. And I think he'll, working with the ones and talking with the ones and having some conversations with David Njoku and Jerry Jeudy and some of the offensive linemen. I think it's all going to come together in a big Browns win today. James Adair, 1586. Now, there was a local news anchor in Cleveland named Doug Adair. I'm not sure if he's related. And the only reason I ask is because James Adair seems to know a lot about television ratings. Because he says the Cleveland Browns ratings have been impressive, particularly during recent games. For instance, a preseason game featuring Shedeur Sanders was the most watched on NFL Network since 2015, attracting 2.2 237 million viewers. And you know what? We'll continue with James Adair's thoughts in a second, but I want to show you he's right. There it is. Remember, I told you back in, when did they play this game? The Carolina game? Preseason game? I told you this would be the most watched preseason game. It's going to be, this was like Michael Jackson, the world premiere of the Thriller video. And it was. 2.2, over 2.2 million. NFL Network. Told you that would happen. And it did. And it's going to happen again. James Adair continues. Additionally, the Browns have seen an 8% increase in local TV ratings compared to the previous season, averaging 29.9 household rating. Overall, the Browns' performance has garnered significant attention and viewership, contributing to the strong presence in the NFL. Now, that sounds a lot like an AI response, but I will tell you this. Whenever the Browns are on, from my days in television, whenever the numbers, it didn't matter what their record was. You'd get the ratings, we'd look at the ratings, and you're just like, holy moly. Like, the world stops in Cleveland, when, or at least the Cleveland television market, when the Browns are on. The Browns are such a big, big deal, and that's why, what I teased at the top, Shedeur could set a record before even throwing his first pass. I think that the ratings for this, or if there's a way to track pirated sites or whatever, I know a lot of people now stream games on TikTok, things like that. I think there are going to be so many people. Nobody cares about Philly and Dallas and whatever else is going on after 4 p.m. Eastern time this afternoon, because everybody will be locked in to our Brownies beating up on the Raiders with Shedeur at the helm. Let's go. Big ratings, big win, and we will end today with what's blazing in sports. The Browns are blazing in sports, that's for sure. What's blazing in sports says Shedeur wins his first game with the Browns. Keep it simple. What's blazing? I like it. I agree. I think this is going to be a huge day. I can't wait for our instant reaction after the game. It's going to be more than a Victory Monday. It's going to be Party Central here on the Browns' latest podcast. We are going to celebrate what will be our future franchise quarterback taking over. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Enjoy the game. Talk to you after. Go Browns. We'll see you next time.